kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like? People talk?
Well, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
I don't recall his name, but he was one of your friends. He said that he couldn't take me straight to you, that I had to go through the church.
He was right about that. But he still said more than he should have.
I know my way around. You won't go wrong with me.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight. But not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius, and why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of his, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Well, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
And do you have any other test?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is the toughest task we've got.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the stomach for it.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk. Then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the royal cellars. And I doubt he suddenly stopped drinking.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the Order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? Goodbye.
God be with you.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No. God be with you. Jesus Christ be praised.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No.
Pour me an ale.
God be with you.
A tankard here.
God be with you,
Here.
good sir.
Coming right up.
God be with you.
Here
My
you
respects
are.
to you.
Good health.
Farewell.
Got it for you right here.
May the Lord watch over you.
Here we are.
Good health to you.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No. Good luck to you.
What? Are you volunteering to get your head smashed in?
That's right. Let's go.
A meal to go with the ale, please. I'm hungry. I'd like a bite to eat.
Good day to you.
What's your plan?
Otter's busy making a very pretty suit of armor for the bailiff.
Right up.
So I was thinking, if we could show that pretty armor of his is absolutely useless, he'd be disgraced.
And how am I supposed to see to that?
Well, I'd reckon we'd arrange a duel of champions with bludgeons. You'll put on Vitus's armor, and Otter will send his champion in that tin shit of his. You invite the bailiff to watch, and Otter will be made a laughingstock in front of everyone.
And what do I get out of it?
Vitus will let you have the cuirass from his suit of armor, and I'll throw in a few groschen on top.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure a fella like you will be glad to be on good terms with the best armorer for miles around, eh?
That remains to be seen.
I've only got 2 hands.
Do you really think that will work?
Otter's always mouthing off in the alehouse that my young lad isn't worth a damn. Once I show he's just a bitter old bastard spouting hot air, his business will be ruined, and Vitus will reap the reward. What with all the strife in the country these days, there'll be no end of work for a good armourer.
But what if I lose?
Nonsense. How could you? Vitus's armour is light as an eggshell and hard as a rock.
How about if the armor for the bailiff mysteriously went missing?
Jesus Christ. Don't even talk about it. Although, if Otter doesn't agree to the duel, it might be the only option.
Exactly. And if you want to wreck Otter's reputation, not keeping his promise to the bailiff could be even worse for him than your idea.
You're right. Do whatever you think fit then. But if the armor gets, lost, don't come to me afterwards. I know nothing about it, right?
Of course.
Good luck to you.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Pour me an ale.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No.
May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
What? Are you volunteering to get your head smashed in?
Calm down. I don't want any trouble.
Then get lost.
Good day to you.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No. Farewell.
Coming.
I'd like a beer.
Mother of God, you reek. God bless. Here, just as you ordered.
Good out to you, sir.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
Here we are.
No. Farewell. God be with you.
Well, Master Painter, are you still short of coin?
Yes, unfortunately. And my offer still stands. Don't you want to buy something? Or throw a few dice?
I'm sorry, but I don't have time for it now.
Good luck to you.
Can you show me how?
Certainly.
I'd like to.
First, you...
Well, Master Armourer, I have a message for you from Blacksmith Zack.
If it's another one of his so-called generous offers, you can go straight back and tell him I'm not selling, and that's that.
No, this is another matter. Vitus wants to challenge you to a duel.
What? Me fight with that brat? Zack must have lost his mind entirely.
Surely you're not afraid of him, Master Otter?
Pah! Me? Afraid of him? Nonsense. But a respectable craftsman like me can't be seen battering a barely trained runt.
It will be a duel with bludgeons. No bloodshed. At most, a few bruises and some dents in the armour. Zack chose me to wear Vitus armour.
And so I'm to choose a champion of my own? That sounds reasonable.
Good. So let's agree on the time and place.
Hold your horses, young fella. I've got a counter offer for you. Now, I'm sure Zack is paying you well.
I won't deny it.
I could pay you more. And I'd tailor-make a cuirass just for you. What do you say?
You mean if I fight as your champion instead? I'm not sure how Zack would take it.
No. You fight on Zack's side and lose.
All right, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Zack won't know what hit him.
So, choose the time and place.
What, me?
You're the one being challenged, so it's your right.
Well, it's all the same to me. Go and sort it out with the bailiff. He should know about it anyway, so I don't look like a troublemaker.
All right? I'm here on behalf of Blacksmith Zack.
Zack? What does that madman want now? Don't tell me. It's another complaint about the Master Armorer. Well, you can tell Zack if you waste another minute of my time with that pathetic feud of his. I'll have him up for disrespecting the office of the bailiff.
No, it's not a complaint this time. In fact, Zack came up with an idea to settle the dispute once and for all.
Is that so? Well, that's a different kettle of fish. That's just what I was after. You have my full attention, friend. What's his plan?
A duel.
Jesus Christ! Has he lost his wits entirely?
Don't worry, Goodman Bailiff. No one will get killed. It will only be a duel with bludgeons. Zack chose me as his champion. I'll be wearing a suit of armour made by his son, Vitus, and I'll fight Otter's champion. Whoever falls first, loses.
That sounds like a fine spectacle for the village green. Naturally, I'll have to be present to ensure nothing untoward happens.
Your presence is certainly expected, Bailiff. We'd like you to referee the whole duel.
Very well. We'll have it on the marketplace in the front of the church. But when?
That's up to you.
We can announce it right now.
Let's do it.
I'll have it announced around town. You come along at just the right time. It'll be a fine show for the townsfolk, and I'll finally get that pair and their constant squabbling off my back. Farewell.
Good citizens of Sasau, our township has long been plagued by a protracted dispute. As you are no doubt aware, Zack, the blacksmith of the monastery courtyard, and Master Armorer Otto Rabstein have been, for some time, at odds. And in so much as it behoves my office as bailiff to settle such disputes and maintain peace and order, I have decided to resolve the blacksmith's quarrel by unconventional means, whilst affording an entertaining spectacle. In short, we shall let them knock each other's teeth out. However, since it ill befits two respectable tradesmen to maul each other on the market square like a pair of cocks on a dung heap, each of them has elected a champion. Zack, the blacksmith, has appointed to fight in his stead Henry of Scarlet. And Master Otto Rabstein's champion will be... Please, introduce yourself, Sir Knight.
Master Otter will fight for Master Otter. I don't need some young pup to take my place.
I remind you that this will be a duel with bludgeons alone, and until first blood is shed. Come, folks, be sensible for heaven's sake. We don't want any maiming here, or, God forbid, murder. So, if both contestants are ready, let us begin.
Well met.
War of our fix.
What the hell are you playing at, you blockhead? That old fart made a complete fool of you.
Actually, I made a deal with Otter before the fight. That's why I lost.
What? You Judas! You pay me back for that. I'll go to the bailiff.
Will you? And what good do you think that'll do you? The The bailiff is fed up to the back teeth with your stupid row. He'll just laugh in your face.
But that's dishonourable.
I see. And giving your blessing to breaking into your competitor's workshop and robbing him, what would you call that?
Shh! Keep your mouth shut, for Christ's sake. I don't think this is over. Not by a long shot.
I don't doubt it. Now run along. I'm sure you still have lots of people you want to slander. I'll come for my reward.
Look here. You didn't happen to tell anyone we made a deal, did you?
Actually, I threw it in Zach's face.
Jesus! Did I hit you in the head too hard? What will everyone think of me now?
Don't worry. No one will believe him. It would just look like sour grapes.
I've half a mind not to give you anything. On the other hand, you might be right. Zach would only make a fool of himself by complaining. I'll give you one of my older pieces, but I adjusted it so it'll fit you like a glove.
Thanks.
If you ever need anything else, stop by.
I will.
Take care now.
To heal, Mutt.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I have that cloth for you.
Ah, excellent. Here's your reward. Good luck to you.
Would you have any work for me?
Yes, I might have. It all depends if you like beer.
Do you plan to send me for some, or to rob a brewery?
I want the recipe. The landlord in Ushitz makes a brew that could earn a man a pretty sum of money, if only he had a mind to share it. But he doesn't. You'll go there and pinch his recipe. Although he can't read, he had the scribe write it down for him, but you'll have to hunt around for the sheet.
I can't see you hanging up your miller's apron and starting to brew beer. But I'll bring you that recipe.
Fine. Just don't be too long about it. See you later.
God be with you.
How are you holding up?
It's not as easy as I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's a different kettle of fish than turning a winch, isn't it?
You got that right. But I can handle plenty. Don't worry about that.
Sure. Just don't work yourself into the ground. Who'd spin that winch then?
True. Good luck to you.
My respects to you.
Are you happy with your job?
I just do what I'm told.
But you're getting paid enough for it, right?
I make a few groschen, but Mother takes it all. Because she has to take care of everything. Good luck, then. Dark at home? A torch will help.
Fred!
How are you?
I've got that game meat for you.
Great. Let's have a look at it.
Thanks, Henry. We'll get lots of supplies for this. Another order. The Master Armorer is mounting a banquet, and he wants to serve venison and cream sauce.
Ah, right, I get it. Hunt down a deer, milk a cow, and skim the cream. Wouldn't he like me to churn some butter to cook it in while I'm at it?
Just the venison will do, thanks.
Take care.
I've got that game meat for you.
Great! Let's have a look at it. Thanks, Henry. We'll get lots of supplies for this. I've got another order for you. The merchant Hagen has a family wedding, and he wants to serve wild boar cooked in wine.
I'm sure he can get his own wine.
Of course. Just the boar.
All right. I'll bring it. I brought that game for you.
Excellent. Show me what you've got. Thanks, Henry. We'll get lots of supplies for this. I think we'd better quit while we're ahead. The Master Huntsman has got wind that something's up, and the burghers are getting nervous. But you helped us a lot, Henry. Thank you.
You're welcome. Come and see me if you ever need anything else.
I will.
Take care.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhof massacre, it's getting a bit complicated.
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the whoresons who torched Neuhof.
That's excellent news. Did you find out any more?
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means murdering one of their former cronies, a fellow they call Pius. Apparently he was at Neuhof too.
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
What should I do with Pius once I find him?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a fair trial.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius, and then getting him to the bailiff.
Far from it, lad. But I have confidence in your abilities.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations with the monastery aren't entirely congenial. You'll have to figure something out for yourself. Take care.
That treasure of yours you sent me to get.
Did you find it?
It belongs to Baron.
But I couldn't know that.
That means you still owe me.
But I don't have anything else.
So, should we go then?
I suppose so. Right away. I put some of my old clothes in a trunk for you. I don't want you making me look bad in front of Hanush. So go and get dressed up before we head off.
Thanks, Sir Hans. I'll go and get changed now. So, should we go then?
Let's go. And by the way, I'm glad you got dressed up properly. Clothes make the man, and in your case, it's quite a transformation. Come along then.
Well,
my ward, and his, what shall we say, chaperone.
Uncle.
My lord?
I hope we haven't dragged you away from anything too important.
Not at all, Uncle. We
like
were just...
boozing and whoring, for instance.
Uncle, I can...
Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects.
No, it wasn't... Henry and I were just...
Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables, and on yours, may I remind you. And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see a drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Maybe you think because you're the lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polnar. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian.
Uncle, that arson Archibald tried to murder me. What was I to do?
Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him.
I was only...
Oh, don't whine, for heaven's sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. Sir Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him?
Isn't he Sir Bernard's cousin?
He is. He came here with a remnant of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded.
What happened to him, sir?
His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wulfrin of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota.
Wulfrin of Camburg? That name is familiar.
He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too. A cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences.
What do you want us to do, sir?
Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wulfrin pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair, after all. Maybe more to it than meets the eye. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well, Uncle.
Get to work, then.
God bless you. What troubles you?
So, what do you think about this?
Old Hanush is right about one thing. It's time to stop chasing wenches and start chasing bandits. It'll be a bit of excitement for a change.
I agree. I was worried you'd be upset after Sir Hanish's speech.
Why would I? I finally have a chance to show Uncle what I can do. I can't wait. We'll ride there, hack those bastards to pieces, and celebrate with a good drink in the evening.
But Sir Hanish said we should get them out of the fiefdom without bloodshed if we can.
And how else do you suppose we can do that?
With diplomacy?
You can't parley with criminals. That would just damage Uncle's reputation. Every lowlife would think he could rob him without fear of reprisal. Enough talk. Let's mount up. Good luck, then.
Make it. Stop your drunk.
Sir Hanish sent me, Captain. I'm to join your mission. And Sir Hans, too.
Then mount up, youngster, and we'll move out.
Can you teach me how to defend myself better in combat?
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot?
Agree?
More. Agreed. Now listen up. Lord Capon, when we get there, I'd like you to hold back.
You can forget about that. Handle this matter and handle it.
Yeah.
Listen, Bernard. About this robber. I heard some rumors.
About his being a relative of mine in the Lotus?
Something like that.
We have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna. Wolfen belongs to a distant branch of my family, which, well, let's just say they bring no honor to our name.
But I heard Wolfen of Camberg was hanged somewhere in Silesia after plundering the bishop's estate. Now they're cursed. Now, Bernard, don't you think I'm a little old for fairy tales?
Yeah, think what you like. I heard it from my grandfather, and he never paid attention to old wives' tales.
I meant no offense.
Yeah.
Well, tell me all about it then. After all, there's no smoke without fire, and I never heard about the Camberg clan from a member of the family.
Very well. At home, we always spoke in whispers about our Camberg relatives. When Wolfen's father, Wilhelm, came to visit, I'm almost ashamed to say it.
You can rely on my discretion, Captain. Carry on.
Well, the servants were so afraid of him that they went and hid in the barn. Father had them whipped, but even then they wouldn't go near Wilhelm. Yeah. I'm afraid he cursed them, and I couldn't blame them.
Why's that?
Wilhelm's face was so badly disfigured, folk would cross themselves when they saw him. I was afraid of him myself as a boy.
Was he wounded in war?
No, he was born that way. You see, his mother, Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, didn't want to marry Wilhelm's father, my grandfather's brother. She never wanted to bear his children. So, when she fell pregnant, they say she went to a witch to get rid of the child. Yeah. She ended up having quintuplets. Can you imagine it? 5 babes born in one night?
Jesus Christ.
That's not all. 4 of them didn't live till dawn. Only the 5th survived. Yeah. This figure, Wilhelm. They say the witch cheated her, and instead of getting rid of the child, she put the devil's seed inside her.
Good Lord, how dreadful.
Well, Wilhelm carried that with him his whole life. When his own wife was in childbed, he had 7 friars kneeling in her chamber day and night. It didn't stop the rumors, though. When his son, Wolfen, was born, he looked normal enough. He turned out to be as wild as a stray tomcat.
It seems he hasn't grown out of it.
You're right about that. A few years ago, Wolfen went off to Poland, and Wilhelm got worse and worse. He cursed everything and everyone in his path, started throwing crockery at the servants. He was on his deathbed. He sent for a priest, not just to give him the last rites, because they were afraid the devil would come out of him and possess someone else. Then later, Wolfen turned up, even though he was supposed to be dead for years. Folk said he was dead. That wouldn't stop the devil's spawn.
Yeah. Sweet Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than the stories my nurses used to tell me. How are we supposed to deal with a monster like that? God save you, Henry!
Pray. Whoa. Vitus and Cyril. I sent them to scout ahead.
Those bastards will pay for this.
They most certainly will. Let's go. We have to make camp. Hamlin, we'll take 2 men and come back here later. I won't have Vitus and Cyril left as crow meat.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Greetings.
What do we do now?
First, we have to find out where those Horsons are holed up. According to the reports, they raided a few farms around here. So someone should go to those places and find out what they can. You should do it, Henry. My men would probably just startle them.
Isn't it dangerous?
About as dangerous as sitting here in the camp.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, sir. Where are the farms they raided?
One is uphill from Neuhoff, right by the woods. One here above the woods by the crossroads, directly north from our camp.
Tell me, Captain, how come this Wolflin is attacking his own kin?
They say blood's thicker than water, but sometimes I wonder. Look at our king and Sigismund.
So what's the cause of your conflict with Wolflin?
Nothing in particular. Just that he's a ruffian, a treacherous bastard, and a bandit. No wonder the whole Camber clan is cursed.
How are you related?
Milota, Wolfin, and I have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna.
How do you mean cursed?
Like I said, Wolfin's grandfather married Countess Barbara of Hogwitz. She didn't want to bear his child and went to a witch to get rid of it. Only instead of getting rid of the unborn child, she ended up having 5.
What, all at the same time?
All in one night. But only one of them lived till morning. The youngest, Wilhelm. And his face was disfigured. They say the witch deceived the Countess, and it was Satan himself who impregnated her.
And you believe that story?
Depends how you look at it. Wilhelm wasn't a bad man while he was in his right mind, but he was terrifying to look at. I still get shivers down my spine when I think of him. As for Wolfen, word came that he died in Silesia. Then, one day, he appeared from nowhere. There are folk who say death has no power over him. Good luck, then.
Good evening.
Captain Bernard sent me. It's about that attack.
Well, they came, took everything they could, and rode off again. I don't know what else I can tell you.
We're trying to catch up with that gang, so I need to hear every detail you can tell me.
What do you want to know?
How many of them were there?
2 or 3. I'm not sure. My head's still in a spin.
Which way did they go?
I don't know. I wasn't watching. My husband made me hide indoors, and I only saw them through the window.
So your husband was outside?
Yes, he tried to parley with them.
What did they take?
Not much. We haven't a pot to piss in, which I told them in no uncertain terms as soon as they came here.
So you're telling me they came here, you told them there was nothing worth taking, and they just rode off again, without further ado?
More or less.
But just a while ago, you told me you were indoors the whole time.
Yes, I was. Mostly.
So were you inside or outside? Did you talk to them or not?
Well, like I say, it was confusing. I don't remember much.
Look here, I'm not sure what happened here, but I can't shake the feeling you're holding something back.
No, it's just, it all happened so quickly. I'm still bewildered from it all.
I'm the one who's bewildered. Let me make one thing clear. Those bandits are led by Sir Wolfling, Baron of Camberg, and he's not just some common outlaw. If we don't catch him, there'll be hell to pay. So you better speak up, no matter what happened here.
Lord Jesus, why must we be persecuted so?
So, what really happened here?
First, promise me you'll get rid of them.
That's exactly what I'm here for.
They came a few days ago, took a pig and a sack of apples. We put up no resistance. I noticed one of them had an injured leg, so I offered to treat it for him.
Why would you help those cutthroats?
They didn't behave violently towards us, and I thought it would be best to keep them happy. At least they left me some apples.
Go on. What happened then?
They rode off, and I prayed we'd seen the last of them. Only the same evening, they came back again. One of them had been wounded, and they wanted me to take a look at him. They gave me some coin and took me to their camp. And in the morning I came home again.
Begging your pardon, but are you soft in the head? If I hadn't coaxed it out of you, we might never have found them.
I know I should have told you, but I was afraid of them, and of you too.
I understand. They threatened you.
They didn't exactly threaten me. They didn't have to. But if they get away from you, they'll come back and get revenge.
Don't worry. We'll take care of them. So you know where they're camped? I'd like you to lead me there.
I won't go to their camp, no. But I know of a place where you'll have a good view of it.
That'll do me.
May the Lord watch over you. I'm not going any further. If they saw me, I'd be done for. The camp's not far away in this direction.
Thanks. And don't worry. I'll deal with those bastards.
I pray you do.
Looks like I found it. I'd better get back and report to Captain Bernard.
What's going on there?
Good health to you.
I found that encampment.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Is it far?
Not really.
How many men did you see?
Around 10.
The same as us. Well, now we'll see if my cousin is really as tough as they say. Otherwise, he'll be swinging tonight from the Rattay ramparts.
Wouldn't it be better to parley with them, sir?
Parley with robbers? You must be out of your mind, lad.
I gave Sir Hanush my word I'd look out for his men, and I intend to keep it. So it's my duty to advise a parley.
You're going to advise me?
You're not seeing straight, Captain. No wonder, since Wolfland's your kin. Please, just grant me one thing. Let me go and parley. I'll find out more, and maybe we can settle everything without losing any men.
You want to parley? Listen, Henry, you can't rely on Wolfland to act honorably. There's every chance you won't come back.
Don't worry. I know it's a risky business, but have you got anyone better for the job?
No, I'm sorry to say I haven't. Wolfland's a conceited bastard. If he knows you come from me, he'll receive you just for a chance to tell me to go to hell. I'll give you a livery with my coat of arms, so it's clear you're my messenger. And you'll have to go unarmed.
Thank you, Captain. I'll do my best.
I hope so. And try and come back in one piece. I don't want to explain to Sir Radzig why I sent his favorite into a robber baron's camp unarmed. Take care.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I convinced Captain Bernard to let me go and parley.
Are you mad, Henry? They'll send your head back in a bag.
They won't kill me. They'll know I'm Bernard's envoy. He gave me livery with the Eleshna coat of arms.
I don't think a gang of bandits will pay too much attention to livery. But if you want to be a hero, go right ahead.
See you later.